you feel a kind of way, all kind of way. Nah, la la la, all kind of way. Make you feel a kind of way, all kind of way. When we reach inside of the party, I is not your woman, I is not your woman. When we reach inside of the party.
All sorts of messages this morning, you know, I am not your woman, according to that song. One of the other stories in the Express this morning, don't let Kylie Maloney's death be in vain. Let it be a catalyst for change. This was the message from Sangre Grande Regional Corporation Chairman Anil Jutaram while speaking at the funeral service for the 6-year-old yesterday. Now, little Kylie was gunned down on January 8th when gunmen stormed a house where she was and opened fire. So another one of those sad stories that we have had to deal with and had to grapple with as a country over the past few years. All right, so we are moving on to our first issue on the agenda today. Police have arrested 8 of their colleagues in connection with the ongoing firearm users license investigation. All right, confirmation came from the TTPS yesterday. With us this morning, our president of the Police Social and Welfare Association and also ASP Ishmael Pitt. All right, so we are waiting on the gentlemen to join us. They will do so momentarily. So let's get back to this story concerning outgoing President Paula May Weeks. So the president reflected on her tenure during an interview on Tobago Channel 5 on Tuesday night ahead of tomorrow's meeting of the Electoral College, where her successor will be elected. She says, "I have absolutely no regrets." She said, "I've had an opportunity to do something that only 5 people up to now have been able to do, and it was a most interesting experience." She says, "I've been grateful for all of the opportunities, all of the lovely people that I've met, all the people I've worked with over the years, and I thoroughly enjoyed it." Now, Weeks, however, noted that people may have expected her to speak out more, particularly on the issue of racism. All right, so we do have President of the Police Social and Welfare Association, Mr. Dixon. He's on the line. Good morning, Mr. Dixon. And the gentleman is there. Officer, good morning.
Pleasant good morning, Mr. Hopkinson. And pleasant good morning to your viewership at this time.
All right. Well, Mr. Dixon, let's deal with this issue head on. Yesterday, 8 police officers were charged in connection with the firearm users license investigation. So what impact, if any, has this had on the police service since this was announced yesterday?
From the police service perspective, it have had an impact. We are fully aware that is an ongoing investigation, and the 8 officers were in fact on actual duty. For most of them were on actual duty or heading to duty. So what are the concerns being expressed by both the officers and other officers who are working in the same sections is the manner in which it occurred. These things don't do much for the moral and motivation of officers. We feel that it could have been dealt with differently from an association perspective. We were on the ground engaging these said officers with a welfare check up till after 11, close to midnight last night. So we are saying that we understand an investigation had to take place, and it is at a sensitive stage. So inquiries of we will be echoing our sentiments to the authorities that we should treat our officers with a level of professional courtesy and dignity, because at this juncture, based on all reports, we believe that interviews and everything will continue today with these officers. So they could have been called in with their attorneys and the matter could have been dealt with. And if it is charges are to be laid, you lay the charges. The officers are not running to go anywhere. So that is our only concern at this point in time. We will continue to look at their welfare. It came as a sudden blow to several of their colleagues in varying sections, and we also would have to call in our social work unit to speak and do a debrief with the officers in these sections because the manner in which it occurred.
Mr. Dixon, what does this do for trust and confidence in the police service?
That is an excellent question, Mr. Hopkinson. Trust and confidence in the police service continues to be an issue engaging both the upper management of the organization and those who are out in operation. We believe that these actions by our own, in policing our own, signifies that we are not fearful of policing our own. All right? So the public could be assured that if you make a report, our officers will engage the process, and if there is sufficient evidence, we are going to bring our own before the court, right? It also signifies that in so doing, we will take all the necessary steps to have it done. We're going to not spare no resources, similarly, the related matters. And the true test of what we do is often examined at the court. So you would see that our units continue to take officers before the court. But on the other side, all officers or all persons are innocent until proven guilty. So it is against that backdrop we continue to look and assess what is actually taking place and hope that it has positive impact on the members of the public which we serve. It could act as one a deterrent to officers within the ranks and files from committed offenses, and it also aids in winning public trust and confidence.
Mr. Dixon, does the association have a position concerning the F.U.L. investigation? While some may have praised the investigation, but others have described it really as a witch hunt. Does the association have any view?
Getting straight into whether the association has a view regarding the firearm investigation, our position, we have not put it out there because at this juncture, we have not gotten a copy of the findings of the investigation like most other persons within Trinidad and Tobago. So, and we weren't part of the investigation. At the point in time, the investigation took on its own course, and in so doing, if there are things that were found to be not in keeping with best practice, then those who are responsible for it should actually pay the penalty. And so at this juncture, without having full gleam or full sight of what would have taken place, we would not be pronouncing on this matter this time.
All right, President Dixon, we are now joined by Officer Pitt. Officer Pitt, good morning.
Pleasant morning, Marlon. How are you this morning?
I'm good. I want to take you in another direction now. We are in 2023. Surely, sir, it cannot be business as usual for the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service as it relates to crime. How are you all, when I say you all, the officers of the TTPS, preparing to deal with crime in 2023?
Well, you are correct. It's not business as usual. Last year was a year that we could look back as a society and say that we are not proud of. And I use the term society. And I'm using that term because crime in itself is a social issue. And we would try as an organization to become more effective, more efficient, utilize as much of the resources as we can towards the management of crime. But we need the society, we need the stakeholders, the non-governmental organizations in order to partner with us, in order to assist us in those areas where we shape the minds of our young people. Oftentimes it is left up to the police service. What is the police doing? We are aware that there are persons who would be in company of other persons, and I'm using young persons in this instance, children, for a tremendous amount of time during the course of the day. There's the issue of parenting, there's the issue of the schools, there's the issue of sporting events. And having these areas addressed in a meaningful way would make our job easier from a policing standpoint. So what are we doing? We are trying to see as much as we could be efficient and effective in terms of our resource management, our resource deployment, our resource utilization, but it would still take that effort collectively in order for the society to benefit from what we will call an appropriate crime management approach.
Mr. Dixon, how are police officers expected to perform in a confident way when some officers may feel that around every corner is an attempt to, one,